Alright guys, I kinda gotta run through this real quick. This is gonna be a tutorial on how to use and host your own Ventrilo server. Ventrilo is a voice over IP program where you can voice chat other people for like, I don't know, games like Counter-Strike or, all that other shit. So just Google Ventrilo, or just go to ventrilo.com, 1L. Now, instead of purchasing and paying money for a server, we're gonna avoid that and make our own for free. It only holds up to 8 people, but it's a good number for no cash. So grab a client and the server programs. I'm not really gonna run through this. Doesn't really take much brains to do this. Just run through the installation and grab both the client for your operating system. Make sure you get Windows or 64, depending on what you have. I'm not going to check it for you. You're not 4. It's not really hard to check. Just type in system and yeah, you can look. Server program, just they don't have 64-bit servers, so just grab Windows or Mac. Maybe if you have Linux, I don't really know. But yeah, I run Windows, so just grab that. So once you have that, you will have two programs. You're going to have your Ventrilo client, and then you're going to have your server. Now, we're going to set up our own server. So, you don't just keep this up at all times. Actually, no, you don't really need this right now. Excuse me. Got kind of a cold. Alright, so, hook new, just make a username. Doesn't really matter what it is. Doesn't affect anything. And bindings, you're not going to have to play with either. So, don't worry about that. Go to server. Now this is probably the whole operation of it all. This is probably the biggest part. So when you're hosting, you don't need to type anything but localhost. That's all you need. Now what is this doing is it's telling your host name is localhost, which hosts from your local machine, which is clearly the machine you're running on. Now, the default port for Ventrilo is 3784, and this is the same for all free Ventrilo servers. Maybe if you're in like a clan or, I don't know, like some lame-ass thing like that, they might have a paid server with more slots for more people, and they might be able to, swap in a different port, and that's all preference. 3784 is fine, it's the default port, there's nothing wrong with it. Also, you can set your own password in the INI files of Ventrilo if you look in the folder, but we don't need a password for this. So just type in localhost and you're pretty much good. Now opening this port is the most confusing part. So we're gonna open that port. Now if you go to your start menu and type in CMD, this is how to find out where your router is, where you need to search for your router. So just go to ipconfig/all. Sorry, I gotta kind of run through this fast. YouTube only allows 10 minutes. So yeah, I will make a separate video probably on this because port forwarding is semi-confusing for new people. So what you're gonna look for is your DHCP server, and mine is 192.168.1.1. And that's kind of standard. I think most people are that, but it kind of depends on your router. So I'm gonna type in 192.168.1.1. My username and password, and I don't know if it might be different, but so I have a Verizon router. Everyone has a different router. The point is to get to port forwarding. Now this is normally in firewall settings. Okay, so this enables applications by opening a tunnel, which is a really it's a good term to use. It's a tunnel that allows you to connect to others. So Ventrilo, you need to open that tunnel so someone can connect. So I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna add something new, and I'm gonna add a rule. My device is Jaaacckz. I love you. That's just the name of my computer. And yeah. Now some routers are nice and fancy, and they have this preset thing where you can find what you want. Down here I have Ventrilo, and it's a preset protocol, and it opens it up right for me, but I'm gonna do the good stuff. So if you're gonna add a port. Now the protocols you want TCP and UDP. These are both receiving port things, so you're just gonna want to open TCP, Your source port, this is a port it's coming from. Now, this takes just common sense. Source port, where is it coming from? It can come from anywhere. But where does it have to go? It has to go to 3784. There's no range. It has to go to a single port. So just type in 3784 for that. Oh, there you go. And then hit apply, but I'm not, because I already have this set up and I don't want ports conflicting, because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to reset it again. So once you have that, just apply, and then do another one, and just do UDP, and then same thing. So the source is from anywhere, and the destination is a single port, which is 3784, and that's your default Ventrilo port. Now once you do that, you should have opened up that port. And if you have trouble with this, guys, just message me on YouTube or something. I will help you out. All routers are different. Verizon routers are extremely easy. Well, I wouldn't say extremely easy, but you know, they're easier than other routers that I've seen. So now you're done opening that port. So you're pretty much done now. Now you just have to understand this concept. No one can connect to you through localhost. Only you, because you're hosting. So you can leave that local host and leave the port the same, and you're fine, and you'll be able to connect to your server fine. Like, hello, look, I'm here. So that's all chill. So you can just leave that. Now if you want someone else to hop in your server, you can have up to 7 other people, including you, so that's 8. So if you want someone else to hop in, you need to know your external IP, or the IP that you use every day across the internet. Probably don't even know. So just type in what is my IP on Google. I use whatismyip.com. There's like IP chicken, IP cow, all these, random ass websites that just all they do is tell you your external IP address, which is the one that, here, you can even read it if you really, yeah, it's your internet protocol address, and it's the external one that you use to connect to everyone. I don't know how to put it in babyer terms, really, but whatever. So that is yours, and if you want your friend to connect, you need to tell him that. So just be like, alright, so my IP is blah 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 blah, and then they'll be like, alright, sweet. So they can go into the server and they can type that in under hostname or IP, because that's the host name, local host. It's just hosting locally. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They're just gonna want to type in 3784. I'm not gonna do that though, because I'm hosting. And once they do, and all you need to do is keep this program running. This is your server, and you always need to keep this running. If you don't, the server goes out, because that's the thing that's running it for you, pretty much. I didn't get into the INI stuff, which is fixing this if you set up your lobbies and stuff, but for a basic vent, this is fine. So yeah, this has just been a quick run through Ventrilo. I might make other videos covering it, but that's all I can do for now. Peace, guys.